Hello and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Realms with me, Flying Magpies. Today I'm starting things off back at my base just near the harbour and where a new person has started building his base. Now what I've got planned for over here is a new town centre, somewhat similar to one that I saw on the internet. So what I'm thinking now is just to dig this down and then have 4 pathways. So 1 in this direction, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to get started on that, so digging it down by 4 blocks is the first thing I'm planning to do. And after a couple of minutes, this is what I've come up with. This is the first circle that I'm going to have, and what I'm thinking now is that it's going to come down from here about 3 or 4 blocks, and then each of these lines are going to come down with stone or some kind of stone. What do you call these? Stairs, because now we do have, thanks to the update that Bedrock Minecraft that just came out today, we now have the andesite and the diorite and the granite slabs and stairs and whatnots. So I'm going to make use of those instantly. But first things first, I'm going to have to start digging down into the middle. So I think what I'll do is I'll start on this side and go down with the staircases. Maybe let's go with 3 to start with. So 1, 2, 3. And that will do, and then I'm going to have to dig it all out at this level. So wish me luck as I get started on that. And helping me right here is that newest member that I just mentioned that built the house over there. So thank you to ZmanLaCool05. Thank you so much for helping me with this big project that I've got planned for today. And now that that is done, with all the dirt still left on the ground, it's time to move on to the next part, which is building a fountain in the middle of this, and also decorating the outside of this thing. And now just a bit of an update for you. As you can see, I've now put in the center circle. This is where the fountain's going to be. So this is going to have to go down by another couple of blocks, and then I'm going to build something that looks like a bit like a water fountain. I'm really not sure on the design there. Anyway, on the outside here, you can see that I've made these andesite slabs 1 block out from the barrier wall, and this is where I'm going to put a little bit of a decoration, probably some spruce leaves and then some kind of stone at the back, probably a grey stone like andesite or maybe stone or smooth stone or something like that. That's yet to be decided. Anyway, I also need to rip out this walkway in the middle and change it to something that looks nicer as well. What I'm thinking here is that have something at the y equals whatever this is, 64, and one block away from both the inside and outside barriers, and then something in the middle, a different block again in the middle to make it look nice. So I probably won't all be out of greys and browns and whatnot, but yeah, again, that's something to be worked on. So anyway, I'm going to get started on that now. And as you can see, I've now filled in the bottom with the stone bricks and also covered it complete with water. Now of course this middle bit's going to be a fountain. It's going to come up quite a bit, so I'm planning to use stone bricks and stone brick stairs, as well as stone brick slabs, and possibly, if I can find them, the mossy variant of the same. And if I can find them as well, the cracked variant. I believe someone has access to a stronghold, so I might have to go over there to get them. Anyway, the next order of business is to rip up this walkway and replace it with something else. I'm not quite sure yet what with, but again, that's something that can be decided as I'm ripping it up. Now, I don't want to make this bit entirely out of stone brick, because that would just mirror the inside of the fountain and look really silly. What I'm thinking is something to contrast the reds and greens that I already have in this area. So again, yeah, it's a little bit hard to think of. The grey does sort of work well, but what I'm thinking is I need to get rid of the walls first, or at least upgrade the walls first and see how they go before doing the walkways, because what I want this thing to do is be a nice contrast of all the colours. Anyway, I'm going to have to keep mining and see how I go at it. And here we go, it's a little bit more done now. I've now put in the walkway with some dark and some light grey concrete powder, which of course is just going to stay as concrete powder. What I'm thinking now for these walls is, instead of using stone, I'm going to use andesite. Unfortunately, I don't really have a lot of that stuff, so I might have to go gather quite a bit more, but I'm going to get started on ripping out these walls and putting in the andesite. And after a little bit more building, this is the fountain that I've come up with. While I'm not the happiest with it. It looks a little bit off. The other person who was here, I think Zman, whatever his name is looks nice. That guy over there, he said it looks nice. So I think I'll leave it for now, and if I do think of a way to fix it or make it look better, I think I will. But that said, said, there's a little bit of water in here that I probably should waterlog that block here, just to make it look a little bit better. And one more. There we go. So actually, I think that would look just a tiny bit better. Yep, and there we go. And there's actually one more to go. Just this block down here. It looks just a little bit off. As I say, it looks just a little bit off when that block there is not quite waterlogged. And last one. And there we go. Well, I think this project is half completed. There's a few more steps I would like to do, but I think I can move on to a different part of the episode now. Actually, I'm not quite done here. I'm planning to do a few more things. One of the things that was suggested by ZManDacool05 is to put glowstone in the bottom, which I think is actually a very good idea. So I'm going to head off, get some glowstone and put them in. Anyway, I'm done here for now. I've been informed that I've got some profits from my log shop and my iron ingot shop. So I'm going to go over to those shops now and see exactly how much profit I got and if I need to restock the log farm. Okay, let's have a look. Oh wow, that's a lot of diamonds. 23 stacks just there. Oh, and a lot of spruce wood. Let's check the birch and the acacia. Oh, this is a lot of diamonds. I'm gonna have to do a lot more collecting of stuff. And the jungle, not so much there, but still. And dark oak. Okay, I'm gonna have to really redo a lot of stocking of the spruce and the what do we call it, the oak and the acacia and the birch. I think that's just going to be a lot of more work, so I'm going to do that off camera and restock this place soon. And now I finished up restocking the tree farm with all the logs. I think there's now about 27 stacks of each kind of log in the tree farm, so hopefully that's going to last me a little while. Although that said, the first round only lasted me about half a day, so if that can keep up, I'm going to have to be really, really busy off camera, taking up or chopping down a lot more trees just to keep up with the stock. But hopefully, as time passes, I should be able to rake in a lot more profit, and people won't be buying so many logs. Anyway, I'm back here at the town square or center or fountain, whatever you would like to call this, in order to start, firstly, making sure that the fountain is actually fully waterlogged. So you can see there's a couple of blocks here and there which aren't finished, so I need to waterlog those, and then I'm going to outline the plans I've got for this next part of this town square upgrade. And I'm back here at the town circle, or town square, whatever you would like to call it. Anyway, one of the things I'm planning to do as well is put an outside circle around this, which is also going to hold a walkway made out of the cobble and the andesite, as you can see in my inventory as well. So firstly, of course, I've got to dig out this bit and go on from there. What I'm also thinking of doing is putting a small flower garden as a third circle outside this thing, and that will complete this town circle. So I'm going to get started on moving out the dirt again. And now the walkway around the outside of this circle is now complete. What I'm thinking now is of putting glowstone in. Instead of using torches to light this place up, I'm thinking of putting some glowstone in each of the corners. So one here, and put that in there, and then one in each of where the walkways begins. And another place I'm thinking of doing that is, where else is there? I'm thinking of also doing a couple in the fountain, so one in each of the four corners, or not corners, but one in each of the four compass points, and I'll probably put one in the center of here, so that should quite easily light up this entire area. So I'm going to do that and get back when it's night and see how it looks. And now, having installed all the glowstone, I'm having a look at this while it's night, and I think this is quite a good start. There's no really, really dark spots, and it does give a rather even lighting, which of course it would, since I've put the glowstone in exactly the same place in every quadrant. So I think that's a good start, and I think it's time to move on to something else related to this project now. And I reckon I've now finished off this town circle. As you can see, I've put in a spruce leaf, and I suppose you could call it a bear, but a spruce leaf decoration circle around it, and of course this circle can expand a little bit more as I see the need. However, the next bits that I'm going to be working on is the harbour again. I know I've been here quite a lot in the past few episodes, but there is quite a lot still to do here. Now, I have built one ship, and I do have plans to build a few more, and possibly a sawmill type over here with some barges carrying those logs in and out of the ocean. But one of the other things I've got planned for this episode is to build a few shops, and the first thing I'm thinking of is a ship chandlery. Now, if you're not entirely sure what a ship chandlery sells, it sells all kinds of things that ships would have in their hold for the day-to-day running of the ship. So ropes and fences, not fences, ropes and what else? Barrels, that sort of thing. So I'm going to make a rather wide storefront. I'm not entirely sure if I should build it right in the center of the harbour, but yeah, actually I'll move it over that way a bit. So I think I'll make these blocks the end ones, and then I'll rip this up and put in a few more heading towards the iron farm on that side. When that gets done, and there we go. So let's make it maybe 10 wide. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and again. So this is the what you might, I'm not sure what you call it, the storefront part of it. Is that, I think that's wide enough? No, let's make it a little bit wider. 4, 5. Yes, that looks good. And now for some external barrier walls. And we'll make it a rather deep store, so let's make it 10 deep, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the barrier, or the support beam, and that one should line up nicely with here. Anyway, I'll keep building this, and as I do, I'm going to give you a couple of progress updates as I continue to build a few more buildings in this harbour. And just a bit of a progress update. As you can see, I've built the front face of the store as well as some of the external walls. I've also made some rather big glass windows, and that's mainly to display the stock as you might see in a normal stock nowadays. However, what I'm also planning to do is put up a second story, well, on the second story, and I'm going to make that out of oak. But one of the other things I need to do as well in here is put some support beams across the top, which I'm going to make out of dark oak fences, as you can see now. For the ceiling / floor of the second story, I'm thinking of using jungle again. I know I've used jungle quite a bit already on the floor here, but I think it's a reasonable block, and that's where I don't think acacia or birch are going to fit the vibe I'm trying to feel here. And thankfully, this is just the way I want it. These are wide enough, and I didn't quite create enough. These are wide enough to be able to have the 4 beams just across the top. Now, in theory, those would be holding up ropes and the heavy things off the floor, and that's also partly for the display stock as well. So a little bit more fences, and I think I'm ready to go with the ceiling of the next one. So I'll pillar myself up when I finish this bit, and then I'll get started on the ceilings of this level and the floor of the next, which are going to be the same thing. And there we go. And the last progress update for this ship chandlery. Now, as you can see, I've added a second story made mostly of dark oak and cobblestone and glass and oak. Well, I suppose it isn't entirely made out of those blocks, but at any rate, what this is planned to be is the living quarters of those who run the chandlery. And then what I do need to do is light up this place, because it really is gets quite dark, especially at night. So if I have some coal in here somewhere, which I do, and some sticks, which is even better, and torches I think I saw in there, so that's the best. Torches, and now I can light up this place. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In theory, I suppose I should light up the rest of the walls, but I'll get to that. Now, what I do need to do in here is create a bit of a shop atmosphere. So a few chests, I suppose some barrels, just like I've got here. It's a pity that the update with 1.9 didn't actually come out with the barrels like the wiki said it does, but that can't be helped. So I'm going to need to put some barrels in, some chests. I suppose if I could think of whatever way to do some rope, that would be good. yeah, actually, if I could do some rope with some leashes, but I'm going to have to create some leashes and some horses, or something to hang the leashes with. So I'm going to get on that and come back when I've stocked up this store. And now I believe I've got that store done, and it doesn't really have a lot in it. It's got some chests and a couple of faux chests, which I'll just show you right now. Something like just a couple of faux chests. I suppose they could be either seats like this, or they could be something to contain actual resources. Now, I didn't really figure out how to hang things on the ceiling, and if people do know how to do that, that'd be good. But I'm going to move on from here to the next couple of buildings that I've got planned for this harbour. But aside from that, I also need to build a couple of roads in and out of this place, and I'm thinking along here would be good. Now, I want to leave this place here because it goes straight down next to the iron farm. But if I leave 3, maybe 4, I think 4 would be good, and that should leave me plenty of room to add a couple more roads going around the harbour town side of the town aspect that I'm trying to build here. However, I can work on the roads whenever I want to. There is one more thing I do want to finish off before I end this episode, and that is a bit of a storage facility for all the logs that I'm going to be shipping out of this in this harbour. So what I'm thinking at the moment is that it's going to go somewhere here, right next to this tree farm, and then I'm going to have carts coming down this road from where there's a forest down there, and I'm going to build a sawmill down there probably in the next episode. So what I need to do first is start getting rid of all the stuff in here and find where I put the coarse dirt and things, because I'm going to make the bottom out of coarse dirt and surround it also with some spruce. One thing that this episode has done highlighted as well is that while I have been tree farming, I've been putting it all into the shop. So I've actually been digging into my own resources as well, and which has meant that I'm now quite low on all types of wood. So what I'm going to have to do is, after building this, I'm going to end the episode and also start building up my wood supplies again. But I'll show you how I'm going to be doing this thing now. And what I'm thinking at the moment is having some posts like this, surrounded by wood fences, kind of like this, and every fifth post or so I'm going to put in a new post. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the post would go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the post goes there, and so on and so forth. As I've extended this wall a little bit, I've found out that that if I do 2 there on the side, leave a gap of 5 and 2 on this side, the 5th post comes out to here, and I really want this thing to be square or rectangle, so each thing needs to have 5. So I'm going to have to rethink that. Maybe I could do just 4. I'm going to have to rework this again, and that would leave quite a little bit of space on the side over there, and I could bring this wall in a bit as well. So actually, I think I will do that. So I can bring it in no more than 4 blocks, I believe. So let's put it in 2 blocks and go 1, 2, 3, 4 post pillar, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 pillar. Leave gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this post goes here. That can go there, and then that's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The post goes here. Replace that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the end post goes here. And there we have it. It's now fully fenced off. Now what I do want to do as well is replace it entirely with coarse dirt, so it doesn't look like just a fenced off grass field. So what I do need to do now is dig up all this space and then replace it with, I was thinking coarse dirt, but I think dirt as well. If I mix some dirt in as well, it'll be good. So what I do need to make sure is that there's not a speck of grass that touches dirt, and I can do that by ensuring that I line the entire outside with coarse dirt. So I make sure that all this bit here, and I'll get my coarse dirt wherever it is. Of course, it's on the other side of the fence. But where is it? Over here. So I just need to make sure that all of the bits here are lined with coarse dirt, like so. And then I can mix in the inside bits with dirt, and that should suffice quite nicely. And here we go, this farm is now fully completed, or it's actually not a farm, it's just a log storage facility. Now I do have some, what is this, some spruce wood, so I can now lay that down somewhere. I'm thinking right along here, 4, 5, and I'll make sure this one is actually facing the right way if I can find my axe. There we go. So let's have it 2 spaces away, then we'll have another one. Where's my dirt, actually? No, we'll use this, like that, so we can get the logs all facing the right way. Not that you can really see it on this, because I've actually got I've got the Optifine on, so you can't actually see which way the logs are facing. But that should do it, and then I really should cut this one here and this one here, so it's a little bit shorter. Then I can secure it with rails, so it looks like it's being held down. Something like that. Except that didn't quite go the way I wanted, and there we go. I think that looks pretty good. In fact, I think I will actually extend it this way 1 more block. Get rid of these rails and try again with my rails. And let's see, like that should do it. And why not? I'll do one more on this side as well. I know I just took that down a few seconds ago, but I think I do change my mind quite a bit when I'm building these things. So, not that one, the rail, and there. So, if you're looking at it from this side, it looks like this logs all stacked up. And it sort of looks okay, but I guess the rails should be a little bit further down, the logs in the middle more. I suppose it doesn't really matter that much. So, I'm going to end the episode there, I think, and I'm going to add a few more logs off camera. I'm going to have to harvest more, I'm going to have to do a few bits more, and yeah. But if you have liked this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to keep out watching for the next one. Goodbye!